Welcome back to the channel. Thank you guys for hanging with me on this Saturday. So we're out on the water. The water temp is 43 degrees and I've got 2 hours to put together some type of pattern. So I'm just gonna go look for my favorite types of cover, which are gonna be rock and wood anytime you have these super frigid days. And I'm gonna keep that boat out in a little bit deeper water. Let's see if we can figure out a way just to put a pattern together. I don't need to catch a bunch of big fish. I'm just out here practicing, looking for some fish so we can come back and catch tomorrow or next week. So let's be patient, fish these frigid, cold temperature, cloudy, not your favorite ideal conditions for wintry fishing, but let's see if we can get a few bites to key us in on what we're gonna be doing later in the week or next week. I'm not complaining. .44-degree water temp. So I'm throwing a 1/4 ounce lipless. I think a lot of people throw a half. Some people throw a 3/4, but not many people take the time to fish the 1/4. And I feel like that's a really good option when you want to just slow down. I feel like that half is just too much. When this water gets super cold or you're fishing your bait really shallow, maybe you have grass that's coming off the bottom a foot or two and you're fishing it in 3 feet of water, really hard to fish that 1/2 ounce. And I will tell you this, one of the worst lopsided beatings I've ever taken in my boat was from someone throwing a 1/4 off the back when I was throwing a half. I just could not keep my bait over the top of the grass and they were having no problem. And it's such a unique bait in that strike zone. You don't have a lot of baits that can run that shallow but still have all the allure of the big lipless. You know, people wear the paint off the big lipless and the fish bite it. You know, they love it on almost every lake I've ever been to. This 1/4 is just one that people aren't willing to try. They'll throw the half, and if they don't get bit on that, then they'll do something else. But this, when it comes to a little bit of stained water, low visibility fishing, water column is everything. When the water's super cold like it is right now, 44 degrees, the speed of your retrieve is everything. I can fish this bait almost like a worm. Let it sink. It's not going to get bogged down in the grass. Still throws great. I just need to see some size. Hey, when the water's 44 degrees, I'm not complaining. Clues are Clues are important. I know that's not gonna tell us a whole lot, but again, when the water's 44, I'm not complaining about any bite. All right, we moved locations. I don't think I need to switch baits yet. I kind of like how I'm fishing. I'm gonna get in there and look at, we're 9 feet right here. Flattens out. You can see the bank up there. It's fairly flat. There's probably a little shelf on it, and then it drops off. So we're gonna start off with this lipless crankbait. I'm definitely into the rock. If you look up on the bank, up on there's a lot of rock, so there should be a decent amount of rock around here. That's kind of what I'm more. There he is. First cast. First cast. First cast. Oh, that's a good fish. That's a good fish. Oh, it's not a giant one, but first cast. Oh my goodness. I don't want to get my glove wet. I'll probably just go in there and, oh yes. Hey, so we're fishing in another little area, catching little fish. Look at that. That's a nice one. Yes, sir. We'll take that all day. I've never caught a fish over here, and I was just like, man, I gotta go do something more, a little more cold water-esque. You know, it's a semi-flat bank, but if you look up on the shore, I mean, it goes up pretty quickly. So it's got shelf, but it's still a steep bank. So these fish aren't too far away from deep water. You got wood, you got rock, so best of both worlds when it comes to cold water cover. I just felt like I needed something new. I felt like I was fishing in an area that had fish and probably some potential because I was getting some bites quickly. But I saw one boat come in there, another boat come in there, so it just kind of felt like fishing pressure may have had it. I like to be fishing where I don't see anybody. I mean, I'm looking down the bank. I don't see anybody. I'm looking that way. There's no one over there. I like to just be away from people. So there's no other outlier, something that's messing with the data that I'm collecting. The data tells me that fish are biting. I could almost call my shot in that last area, but the problem was those bigger ones probably had been caught or scared away or whatever. So that's why I had to go look for something new. Water is actually a little bit colder over here, not much, just about a half a degree. Not catching any size. I'm not complaining. I'm just not catching size. That's it's not the right size. My confidence is growing in this bait, though. I know that. I need one like twice as big as that. Right where that rock transition started is where I had that bite. Right where it goes from steep rock to flat with isolated rock. I'm getting a bite about every 10 minutes, so I'm not... Oh, wait, no, correction. That one was 20 minutes between those two bites. Yeah, no, I'm getting plenty of bites. The quality is the only thing that's bugging me, which that's what's making me want to continue to pick up that jig. Your boat's sitting out. All right, so this spot was attracted to me because of that rock, but it's setting up a little bit different than those other spots. Those other spots, you were a cast length away from the bank and you're out in 8 feet of water. So I had to not pull up too close to the rocks on this spot. We're definitely putting a little pattern together here. Again, this isn't the deal for today, but I think if we came back tomorrow, next week, I mean, I think you just need a little bit of sunshine. Some bigger fish could move into these spots. I definitely figured out a way to get bites, pattern some fish. We're only having 2 hours to fish. One bite, though, is what I need. Like one quality 4+ pound bite. Since this spot's got a little bit more flat to it, just something different, a little bit different than what we're fishing. Kind of also tells me that this rock thing is pretty consistent. Unfortunately, the fish are small, but again, you got to be weary of how quickly things change. I love it when the water is super cold. We got 43-degree water. It's 5 or 6 bites in 2 hours. That's okay. And probably the worst part of the day, you know, from 10 to noon. We missed the morning bite. We're not yet there in the afternoon window that is typically really good when you have cold water. So timing might also be why we're not catching quality. Come back on these spots first thing in the morning, and your first bite might be a 4 or 5 pounder. So as many bites as we're getting, feeling good about that. But that's it, guys. I got to go to the house. That's 2 hours. We'll edit this. I appreciate y'all watching. That is a lipless 1/4 ounce old school Excalibur XRK 25. But yeah, that's the bait. Booyah makes one now. It would just be the 1/4 ounce 1 knocker. But yeah, that's all I got for y'all. Put a little bit of a pattern together. Hopefully that helps you guys in this super cold part of the year to catch a few more bass. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you on the water.